making plays, still busting jugs.
Yes.
Do I have to tell them what it's about? You know, just a little hustler mentality, you know.
Yeah. Tell me about busting jugs. What's this whole busting jugs mentality?
Well, first, let's just get into still making plays. Where the market's at, we're not scared. It's you know, hey, whoa.
No, I love that. I love where you were at, dude. That's the energy, Troy. Come back with that. Fuck!
I'm back, just like Bubba Crypto from the Bahamas.
Oh, man, dude. Am I going to start this out with a large, loud, screaming F-bomb, dude? Are we running it?
I mean, yeah, but then you bleeped it out last time. I was disappointed.
I know, dude. I got scared. I got scared of the fam,
Don't
dude.
get scared, dude.
Because I feel like the fam's
You're just in the
listen.
Bahamas.
I know.
Well, I mean, it grabs the attention. That's just great marketing.
Fuck! I'm sorry, Dad. This week, we got the Easy Side update. What is this, episode 18 now?
Yeah, sure. Let's call it that. I think 17 was a bye week, so week 18, here we are.
Yeah, we're
now
back.
we're legal. Certified still here. People were wondering.
No.
They were like, hey, so did those plebs give up yet? Those dudes over there making that podcast?
Oh, no, dude. That's
no.
tough.
Bubba Crypto was in the Bahamas.
Hell yeah, dude. I was out there representing the States.
I was holding the fort down.
Holding the
in
port.
the U.S.
The fort?
Yep.
I was holding down the port.
Oh, fort to port.
Port to port.
All
Port
right,
to
yeah,
bell.
I hate that. Ew, I don't even know what's going on, dude. We're starting off slow after the bye week, but did you see that? Literally, your scream just shook the walls here and then dropped my phone.
Oh, shit. All right.
All
give me
right.
a clap. I love that.
So we're still making plays, still busting jugs. So we're still making plays. You know, we got opportunity all over the market. We are dollar cost averaging, and we're making the best selections we can. And just because the market is down and there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear out there. We're still making plays, still busting jugs. Busting jugs, we're still hustling. You know, hey, maybe a little street slang, but you know what it is. Keep it going. Stay motivated. Keep hustling. That's what we do. We work harder.
Love
and
that.
while Bubba Crypto was, you know, chilling in the Bahamas, like I don't know, like a sailor guy or something.
What'd you say earlier? I was sailing the 7 seas.
Sailing the 7 seas. Last stop in the Bahamas. And during the middle of a crisis. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I know. I feel like a terrible person a little bit, but it's all right. It's all right. We're getting our redemption.
Still
right
got
here.
the article done, though. Still got the article done in the middle of the sea.
Little Wi-Fi, bro. Had some Wi-Fi problems, but I was out there.
You were in the Bermuda Triangle, right?
Yeah, I got out. Definitely was in the Bermuda Triangle dealing with this whole Luna craze. 100%.
Yep.
Garbage, trash.
Yeah, so what'd you think when you saw that? You were just like, ooh, can't even, you know, what? Were you a little late?
I feel like, honestly, I've seen it before, but it was weird to have to experience it with, like, more people. When I first got into crypto, it was by myself, and there was, you know, I think it was just me and Too Easy Dilly, bro, and that was it. And I got into it. We started falling in love with it, and then when we saw the markets turn, it was, you know, it was definitely wild for him and I both, because we're like, what, dude, what just happened? Because we, you know, we had a little bit of money at our age. I mean, come on, we were like 22, 23, whatever, you know?
Right.
And so
Did it all just fall from the sky like this too?
yeah, I mean, it felt, you know, I mean, the weird thing was it was like minuscule money, but it felt like so much more at the time. So like now that I look at it, it was like that stepping stone, that building block to like a bigger picture. And so like it led me up to 2019 and 2020, and we had great markets with the crypto markets. And yeah, we had downturns, but we had some serious upswings with some serious dubs out here. Bitcoin now, I mean, 2019, I like that summer of DeFi. That's when I really dove into DeFi, and that's when it really got introduced to definitely crypto Twitter, but like the entire crypto community. And we saw a pump, and then we saw a dump that, you know, like a few months later in August and September. And it was a slow grind up. And I remember when we rounded the corner the next year, we saw, you got introduced, and I was like, yo, dude, this has a lot of potential right here. I mean, this is what DeFi is, and yada, yada, yada. And Bitcoin went up to, inevitably our all-time highs of 69K. So it's like now we're at 30K. When you first got introduced or started investing or talking with me about investing, it was like around 10K, right? Or somewhere around there, probably.
Yeah, but whatever it was like 3 years ago now.
Yeah. And so now we're at this point, and we're kind of like, okay, everybody's trying to tell us to, slow down. Like, we're wrong. Shit's dying. We're going to zero. Like, please, abandon shit, brother. Like, in the spirit of my last week I've been through.
Did you think about it?
I thought about walking the plank for sure, bro. Dude, I don't know if you caught it, but that's why there were some gifts this week with some pirate stuff, and with some boats, and Pearl Harbor. That was another thing I threw in there.
Yep.
I had Godzilla fighting on aircraft carriers. I was really into the spirit of boats, low key, without even realizing it, to be honest.
And shout out to Margot Robbie on the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. What I was just gonna get at was, like, I remember experiencing it with one person, going through a serious drop, and now, like, it sucks because what I was saying to you, dude, I wish I could just do the podcast with you so, like, our voice could be heard to just spread hope at this moment, because people feel like, they've gotten into a scam, a sham, it's garbage, it's trash, and the internet's not fucking helping, and the government's definitely not helping, and the traditional markets are laughing their asses off. So,
I mean, not really. They're going down too.
I mean, they had a tough week as well. But it wasn't as nearly severe when you watch what happened with Luna, and that is the speculative nature of this market. And when I experienced that with one person, it was one thing, and now that I experienced it now with, like, way more than just one person. And so, like, there was, a few text messages I got this past week it was like, like, I'm still in it, we're still out here. Thank you for, encouraging me, teaching me, people reaching out, asking questions. Like, it was a good, productive week, even though, like, I felt very bad in a way, right, as the rest of anybody that has an opinion about this market does and has ever shared anything about Luna.
Right.
So that was my take on this past week. It's tough to be an influencer and to influence people to invest into their financial freedom when you watch something like Luna and all of that transpire after. Nobody's experienced a drop with BitLord, a severe drop. I'm not talking about, what we've seen. Yeah, we've seen 80, 70% decreases, whatever, but we haven't seen the absolute savagery of the markets just come into play and annihilate something, and it was, I mean, there's different things that have, like, I mean, I remember OCN, and I know people out there that remember OCN. That was, like, where the first, like, huge red flag for me was, like, with Justin Sun. It's like, dude, do I really want to rock with Justin Sun when he, like, promoted this guy over here on OCN, and this guy was 100% a scam. Scam, bro. And the guy ran off with the funds. And, dude, I lost a fuck ton of money on that. And that in this market, Gifto's another one. There was, like, supposed to be a sponsorship by a celebrity. I can't remember who it was, like Paris Hilton or, some big name like that, fashion icon or whatever. And, it never happened. But the rumor of it sent Gifto through the roof. And it's like, I get it. It sucks so bad, dude, that, like, the worst thing about this past week was it was, like I said in the article, a golden geese. Right? The thing that was, like, supposed to be the representation of DeFi and decentralization of finance and earning more and utilizing our own ecosystem to, stabilize value in a stable coin to compete against the dollar and be able to help us with our whole entire fucked up taxation without representation. That's the facts. You know what I'm saying? And this shit sucks that you saw. I mean, damn, dude, I don't want to say Do Kwon bad or Do Kwon good, but, dude, it's like the way you came out, dude, like, there's a certain way, dude, you're not a boxer. You know what I'm saying? You're not in the ring. You're not out there like fighting like that, bro. Like there's like a different level to this. And like once I like saw his entire like people started bringing up so much stuff and
Yeah,
showing
they brought up the past like
yeah, dude.
immediately right after.
Yeah, bro. And that's where like yeah, you had a project that was blowing up and you had a lot of people buy into it, and not only that, a lot of people locked up a majority of their liquidity in you thinking that that stable coin was going nowhere. And so we watched $40 billion absolutely just poof, disappear.
Right.
And so, I mean, people got I got severe problems with this.
It was definitely a learning experience because when you think of the stable coin, you could literally see, I mean, how many weeks were we being like, oh, Terra buys another million and such, dollars of Bitcoin or AVAX. And it's like, when you add that risky element to, I mean, already a speculative, I can't even talk, speculative
Yes.
market,
Yeah.
you're going to delete that part and then make it sound like I didn't say that.
Say
But into a
speculative again.
into a speculative market, I can't say it, dude. It's one of
Speculative.
those. So the stablecoin was backed by already risky assets, which, whether we like it or not, includes Bitcoin. And you create a stablecoin that pegged to how is it to be on the other end of pegging? It's pegged to the dollar, but it's because of Bitcoin. Pleb talk. Good thing we didn't put that on. So what do you expect from a stable coin that's backed by risky assets on top of risky assets?
Yeah.
I mean, so you could have seen this coming, and like we were talking about, we were always saying Terra buys, another millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. And, it's happening right in front of our eyes. So we're watching a stable coin literally get built. So,
Yep.
I mean, regardless, you remember at first, everybody was like, this had to have been an attack. Who knows what happened? But at the end of the day, a couple of days after, you're like, this makes sense. We were watching the stable coin be, made, and, it crumbled
Made.
because
That is
Bitcoin
so,
was.
bro. That word right
Is that
there.
layman
made.
enough?
No, dude, you know what? I might use all of this, bro, because you're fucking awesome. All right, I just want you to know because you're absolutely fucking right. All right, the facts are this: you got a stable coin that's backed by risky assets on risky assets. You not only use Bitcoin. This is a first of its kind. So why not just use Bitcoin and why not just cost average into it, right? And keep the ecosystem healthy. If that was, if UST and Luna already did not have a problem. And so, like we said earlier, we've seen so much stuff come out about Duquan and now Luna, in my eyes, has become the sacrifice for us to have to speak out about. There is a warfare that's being played in the markets against traditional and crypto markets, and I believe that because the foundations that which the traditional markets have been built upon will be completely shaken to its core when the full impact of cryptocurrency hits the markets. Bold statement. Hey, listen here, Cotton. All right, I'm out here. 5 Ds of dodgeball. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge, bro. Like, we're out here buying the Ds, the dips. We'll take the L's, bro. No homo. So it is what it is. You got to take
and
the
it's
L.
not like this happens all the time unless
No.
you're playing with coins, way out there in the crypto sphere.
That's
But
right.
it's a learning experience, and it's a force to be reckoned with. You respect it for what it is. You're like, hey, it can fall out of the sky, essentially. Like that's for any of these. Obviously, a scam is different than a failure, I guess you could call it. So we'll see. We'll see how this Terra revival comes out, or like how the response is. They've been just talking about it, and that CZ Binance guy, I saw he was like kind of for it, but still expected more transparency, I think it said.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you think? Do you think Terra can come back?
They were talking about Luna 2. They're talking about UST 2. I think the beauty about our markets being so young, under 2 trillion market cap right now, is mistakes can be made. Before we get into 401ks and pension funds and backing things of extreme value like people's retirement after years and years and years of doing some type of public service or service to the government or the state or whatever, because you know exactly what I'm talking about right now. I think we need to figure out, honestly, the mathematics behind what we are doing. We can't be out here just, being silly. The reason Bitcoin is so amazing in its value is because of what kind of technological advancement it did to the financial system, right? To the network of payment systems, right? Or the payment network system. This is a new breed. And for us that are pioneering it, it's very unique because this is conversations that are happening behind closed doors, right? Big banks talking big things, big deals, right? Like the common man doesn't get to talk about this kind of stuff. We are just getting introduced to this shit. And guess what? Yeah. The moment we start understanding and translating, look at what they fucking did, bro. They absolutely tore up Luna, bro. $40 billion in our market. Poof. At the same time, they're fucking shorting Bitcoin. Lick my nutsack, dude. This is ridiculous. Yes, it's an absolute all-out, hey, we're the bigger players, sit your ass down. Like, fuck, dude. Thank God we got Bitcoin, because every dude that we follow, our main influencers, for the most part, have said what about Bitcoin the past week?
It held its ground, I would say, pretty strong. We got a lot of people talking sub 20K.
Yes.
And I mean, I respect it. I know how much liquidity moved out of Bitcoin for a minute because obviously Terra had to drop off some Bitcoin.
That's right.
But yeah, it held and it showed. I mean, there's a lot of people that did believe buy the dip here, and I think that's pretty exciting. I don't know if you got to see that article talking about the inflow and outflow of Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I mean, hey, just all you had to do was look at the price action. It held pretty good. Who knows if it's over? I certainly don't. But, you look, this is all you can do here is what you were saying about you and Dylan. It was like, you're learning with all of us. And I think that you would agree, and you kind of taught me this as well. The crypto knowledge, it comes in waves, and
yes.
You got to just take it for what it is. The most important part is get back up,
Heat,
and I can't expect to know everything, but that's why it's great where you're at, because you've given me what you learned, and that pushed my knowledge, fast forwarded it, and then I could see my own mistakes being that euphoric phase, we're always going to go up, and then not realize that it can go fast just as down.
Yeah.
Or, just as hard, carry that same momentum up and down.
Up and down.
But, pause. No homo on that, of course.
Yeah. No,
but,
hold on.
So the main...
What you said, and I want you to go on further on what I'm about to say, okay, is that volatility, now that you've seen it can go down. You've seen it go down, but you've never seen where it feels like there's no end. You've never seen it like that. I don't think. March 2020 felt like no end. What did you think about that part?
I just looked at it and I was like, I started to question myself, and then I was like, you know what? I'll ride to zero if this is what it takes. When you do, I feel like the way I feel about crypto, we feel like it's definitely a good influence and a good thing for culture and
yes.
countries, and
yes.
free speaking people. Shout out to Elon.
Yeah.
But I think that it's good, and I was like, if it goes to zero, theoretically, I shouldn't be hurt. You understand how to budget and move your money and
right.
keep liquidity, and I think
right.
that's one thing that I've been realizing. I'm like, oh man, as pro crypto as I am, I have a good amount of money going to the stock market, just as much as I have going to crypto. Just in little ways. So I'm still just dollar cost averaging into both markets. But what I meant to say by all that was, stock market, I just been going ETFs, finding, dividends whenever I can get them, and playing it super safe, because obviously we're out here in a volatile market, so I think it's good to have balance in your portfolio. I mean, right here, you just got to trust what your research says. And I mean, I think with everything going on, Bitcoin holding as of right now, it's a strong sign.
Fucking right, dude.
Maybe not long term, but right now I'm feeling good. And you know what I do? What I meant to say with all that, okay.
You're doing great, by the way.
So
Like, this is some of the best heat. This is the most comfortable I've ever seen you on the mic right now, off the cuff. Fucking run it, Troy.
that's because
Proud
I
of
was
you.
just sitting there all alone, and I'm like, hey, everybody, I hope you hear me. And here I'm in this Telegram by myself talking like a crazy man. But you know what I'm saying? I'm saying that crypto knowledge comes in waves, and you got to respect
right.
it.
That's right,
I've
Troy.
been reading. I've been staying focused. I think if anything, this is when you should be the most hungry.
That's
know?
right!
Gives you a fresh restart. It gives it. You know, you learn the lessons. That's what did I say? I had to tweet what I learned in the spaces because first, before I get into this, you know, I always listen to you. You're like a wave or two ahead of me, or a couple waves. Doesn't matter. You're ahead of the game. You've seen it more. You sometimes you got to fall back on the people who you trust and you know have proven themselves. Like Richest Man in Babylon. You know. I've been starting to read that one.
Good.
And like he says, you wouldn't go to the brickmaker for. That's the mortar guy.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah. So you wouldn't go to the brick guy to tell you how to invest, essentially.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I mean, unless you're, we're talking street. And shout out to Gucci Mane bricks, all white bricks. Just hit a lick. F Yo Gotti.
Oh,
Shout out
no.
Young Dolph. But
Oh,
okay, so where I'm
no.
going.
Just had to go there. Keep going though. You're right.
Okay.
By the way, I read something just like that just a minute ago, but it was about relationships. Don't share the shit going on in your personal life with your relationships because your family and your friends are not professional therapists. So always keep your personal like you could share like every once in a while somebody you really trust, a vent. You know what I mean? That's one thing. But in the book it was talking about that, like you want to know where you're putting your fucking your thoughts, your energy, all of that, bro. Like I'm reading this other book right now, and it's the power of the subconscious mind. Yo, dude, I told you about it this week, and it has really made a huge impact on the whole mental game of this and coping with this, bro. Because I haven't had hopium. I've been out here with you. You and I both consistently have been doing our very best to make sure that we are being very logical with what we are saying, teaching, and
Right.
and that goes back to how you and I became best friends. That's like, always trying to look at every piece to the puzzle. What's the safest route? How what's the best way? So, congrats to you, dude. I mean, fuck yeah. I know this week was tough, and it was like, dude, what are the chances? I said it to you while I was over there, and that's why I miss the podcast or miss the podcast so much. It's like this for me is like a weekly release of things that you and I. We really want to bring everybody together on, right? We don't want to discourage anybody. We want everybody to be encouraged to keep pursuing no matter what point, where they're at, how much. That's what we're about. So, absolutely, dude. Good on you for realizing that, dude, because it's tough. You don't want to go out there and sorry, I'm kind of taking up a second, but like you don't want to be out there screaming, "Oh, we're going fucking to the moon." But what you do want to do is get up in there and be like, hey, there's some logical reasoning behind why I can see a scenario, something like this happening. And if you give your thesis and you give a little data to it, the internet will pick it apart. Great. That's fantastic. That's great. And people that have the courage to share these ideas and thoughts out there, it's a really unique experience because when you get picked apart, and that's where you and I feel like we're building that part of what we're doing is like we do want to share these ideas. It's the criticism that's really hard, right? Especially now.
And that's honestly that was like going to be the second part of what I was saying is like, you listen to some sources that you trust. Like you trust people who have been in the game longer. Just like
Yes.
you're a rookie in the NBA. Don't act like you know more than a Hall of Famer.
That's right.
Every athlete who's motivated to get to the top.
That's right.
You listen, and that's all I've been doing. Like we've been trying to keep it active, but as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I've just been like a fly on the wall, just respecting who I respect, and take what they say. I bring it back to the group, and I'm like, see if anybody's down to discuss it. I
That's
mean,
right.
me and you talk about it, whether you're in a boat in the Bahamas, like or what. I mean, that's just how how we do it. We're still making plays. We're still busting jugs. We're
That's
still out here
right.
hustling. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? And we
right.
had to get that understood. I was like, man, they probably really think we're out here giving up. But I'm like, we can go to zero.
Yeah,
I mean, to
fuck
be
it.
honest, like, I mean, I'm feeling good. I just did this to level up. Like, we believe in
right.
crypto as a
Ooh.
generational thing, you know? Like,
Love that.
this is
Level up.
this is when you take opportunity. So we're getting some ranges, and I mean, your portfolio can essentially restart. I mean, if you bought at the top, I mean, I don't know what's holding you back.
Learn from it. You know, stand up for something or die for nothing. For real, I don't mean to be like too that. Oh, it's just this. It's just value. It's like, okay, for sure, bro. I get it, and everybody wants to live a certain kind of life, and I understand all that. It's just there's a change and a revolution happening before your eyes, and you have an opportunity of being a part of that.
And you have to pick a side.
You have
and you
to.
have to. If you don't trust in it, obviously you're not even here right now.
Yeah.
You're looking at your phone and you're like, wow, how do I have so little money when I had a lot money? You know, a lot of money.
And at these times, I don't know, maybe and I, by the way, real quick, want to touch on this. BitLord, the guy has taught me so much more in a way of like, in such a unique way, dude. I mean, because there's like subtle things that he like drops and clues that he puts on in all of his content that can give you not just a hint of where things are going, but a little bit of inspiration you might fucking need. You know, because yes, if you like it or not, if you're a part of the crypto community, you are a fucking degenerate, dude. You know, it is what it is.
Seriously, look at you buying internet coins.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Who told you this was a good idea? You know?
Bubba Crypto with the...
Yeah, for sure.
Just
brother.
kidding. Obviously, freaking not.
terrible.
This is entertainment. You know what we're doing, though? We're being just like the meme, Diamond Nuts. You know, I shout out to Hash. I read this thread. So I told you I've been listening to Calio's Spaces. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Shout out for being humble about the, you know, Terra situation. But
Yep,
congrats on the FTX. The man got a partnership with FTX. Let's go. But shout out to Hash. He dropped. What did he say? If you're gonna pay the tuition, at least get the lesson, something like that.
Yes.
But shout out to that man. I just been listening to the OGs in crypto, and
I love that,
you
dude.
just consume and you talk it out, and whatever makes sense to you, that's what you do.
Dude,
and just like they were saying.
Oh, go ahead.
What were you gonna
Sorry.
say?
Sorry.
You were gonna say you paid some tuitions.
I have paid my fair share several times. And it's like, it's fair game. It's worth it. It's worth it, though. It's worth it. This game is different. It's different because people were hitting me up. People were blowing up my line. People were coming in hot. Where are you now, brother or sister or whoever? Just saying. You got opportunity knocking on the door. What are you doing? You got the courage to go take it? You know? Shit, dude. Like, my balls have dropped, dude,
Bro,
through the floor.
Like Calio said, he was like, you get a chance to get Luna under like $10, but you probably wouldn't have the balls to do it. And, you know, we're seeing that like all out.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, we're looking at the market and I'm like, oh my goodness, some of these plays, like, I mean, let's just get into that. I mean, we made the crypto moves. Sorry, they were on Sunday. You know, it is what it is. I was doing a little bit of golf and trying to get away from the market so I don't freaking go AWOL, but I'm still here. Like a savage.
By the way,
that's what I do.
That Hash guy liked a tweet on one of his things. I was like, way to gas me the fuck up, my friend, or some shit like that. And he liked the tweet. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Love that. That's how you know you're fucking with real ones. Yeah, this was like yesterday or today or something.
Dope. Was it something I put you in?
I think it was something you sent me. Hold on, let me get it real quick. I
DM'd him, and you know, it probably was like message requests, and he was in the middle of the spaces and just responded. I was like, heck yeah.
Love that, dude. Yeah, I said to something he did, he's like, there's a really good chance over the next few months you actually see a lot of these projects that you truly believe in start to hit valuation you didn't think were possible again. You will want to quit. Crypto will be something all your peers who wish they got in 6 months ago start to talk shit about a lot. And this is where I tell you not to give up. I'm not saying hodl. I'm cash heavy, and you should already have been, right? We've talked about that. I am saying keep learning, pay attention to the space, keep an eye on the shit you know can 100 times in the right market. So just going forward, there's more to this thread, and maybe we
no, it was a good one. We'll share it.
But
I'll retweet it.
I posted on it. Gas me the fuck up, friend. Love this shit right here.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
that man is smart. Like, shout out to the guys. Like, I'm gonna salute anybody who's out here winning.
Damn right.
Or
bro. What I love the most about the crypto market, without a doubt, I feel like this is more like a nostalgic moment for me, because after the high of the downward movement like this, right? As much as that sounds crazy, is like there's this mellow part after you see all the tragic shit that happens in the market. You see all of us kind of come together, and you find out who the real ones are and the ones that are garbage. And that's what I appreciate about the most. Dude, I've seen BitLord now through like 3 or 4 of these cycles, and I'm telling you right now, the guy's a fucking legend. Shut your fucking lip if you got something to say about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have shilled garbage projects, okay? Luna is a great example right now, okay?
Hey, at least we were doing it at the top. We were like, hey, look at us. It's like the opposite. Hey, who inverted our Filecoin chart?
Yeah, dude, that's not funny.
We're like, yeah, get in before 200.
Oh, we're terrible. But I mean,
sorry, at some point you gotta laugh about it.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is you got to know the ones that actually have tech behind them. And I would not be talking about Filecoin if they don't have a technology that's actually benefiting. And then hear about the thing with Flow and Instagram. And next thing you know, Filecoin is going to be the data project to be able to store the NFTs for Flow. Bro, hello, 2 + 2 is 4. There's an opportunity there. So I'm going to look at that when its all-time high was $240 and it's at $9 right now and go, maybe I should get some. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, fuck, dude. This game is not hard, people. Do your homework. Trust a few people. Listen to this shit. Be a fucking degenerate and enjoy the fucking ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck.
You think anybody who bought Filecoin at like 120 that was listening to us is sitting there and they haven't bought yet?
Yeah,
like, bro,
dude, 100%.
Do you know how fast you can fix that right now?
Yeah, dude, I know that sounds so bad for me to laugh at that, but like, fuck, dude, I remember when Bitcoin was at 3K and I was scared to buy it. But then I started when Bitcoin was at 3,600 is when I started learning about putting in small amounts over a period of time. I didn't know what it was called. I didn't know it had a name. I didn't know there was something special about it. Didn't know it was the fundamental thesis to the fucking book of The Intelligent Investor. I didn't know any of this stuff, okay? And so the next thing you know, I start getting into it, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is really interesting how you put small amounts, the shit keeps going up, and it's a small bet every time. That makes sense. I'm not losing my ass, you know? And it's like I kept doing that with the crypto market. And you know, I feel like we're kind of going long here on all this stuff.
No, we're good. One last thing, though. But, like, you know, like I said, with the fundamentals, I was like, when you look around, I was watching the NBA playoff game, and there was a Coinbase, there was Coinbase on the court or on the hoop, and then we got 2 different stadiums named after crypto exchanges. Yeah. And I was like, you don't want to rely on fundamentals too much, but if you think about it, you're like, wow, how big of a drop would this be for like humans if we're all out right now. We got freaking teams sponsored by, like NFL, like all these partnerships with major, companies.
Algorand and FIFA. What the fuck?
Shout out to Algorand. But you know what I'm saying? When you look around, you're like, okay, I'll go to zero, but I just want everybody to know that there's names of crypto exchanges on stadiums, so I'm not stupid. I was great. I was in before them.
Yeah.
But, hey, if we go to zero, I guess, like I said, we'll be wrong with everybody on Shark Tank.
Yeah. Sorry. Excuse us, All
right, so we're going to get into the crypto moves. We had Bitcoin under 32K. Ethereum under 2,200, Cardano under 75 cents. Oddly enough, man, Cardano, people either are for it or they are definitely against it. That's what I'm learning when I go into these spaces. I'm like, oh, shoot, there's some Cardano haters out there.
A lot of them.
There's also some Solana haters. Solana under $70, Chainlink under 12. This was one of my personal favorites, that's for sure. We had Atom under $15. I'm a little iffy. I was stacking Atom. Shout out, I can get Atom 2% on my Coinbase card now. I'm pretty happy about that. But I'm still trying to weigh, and it's something to look into how the Cosmos ecosystem runs, with everything that went down with UST.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that doesn't negatively affect long term how one of my favorite, buys as of late, turns out. But it is what it is. Next, we got Algorand under 60 cents. You want to say anything about that one? I mean,
I want to say something about. I want to say something real quick about Atom. Atom was already being discussed as a huge project and something very important to the ecosystem of cryptocurrency before Luna got built on it, I believe. So that's what I want to say about that. I still believe in the blockchain of blockchains. I feel like it has more to do than just a blockchain that was built on top of it. But I do think you are 100% correct. This Luna thing definitely had a bigger impact on Cosmos first before it had an impact on the rest of the market, in my opinion. Absolutely. I could agree with that while I was watching things happen. So there's that. Algorand, dude, I mean, fuck. We just said they're partnering with FIFA. They got, the whole thing with LimeWire. LimeWire is a brand. Think about it. LimeWire is a brand. Okay. Now, BitTorrent was a brand, but that was not the U.S. brand for downloading music. And then you hear Soulja Boy, you come on the screen. All right. BitTorrent didn't have it locked in like LimeWire did. That's my opinion. That's when I was growing up with the torrent sites. So, Algorand is more than just that. You look at, they actually have an NFT community, and then the gaming development community. We talked about it before. It seems like the extreme nerds love Algorand. So with all of that being said, I love those two. Cosmos is just a hard sell because of the Luna thing. Did it impact it a lot? Is it, was it impact? Question was the weakness or the flaw that was inside of Luna, is that a flaw or the fault of Cosmos? I don't think so at all. That was a man with a big ego that developed a project and did too much too fast and bit off more than he could chew. So people trusted him, followed. This is what happened. We move on now. Right. Luna 2, sorry, no. UST 2, no. Go ahead, though.
Right, but that's why I mean, Algorand, it's like I had so much in these ranges. Like when we first started calling out Algorand, I was like, at least when I first got into altcoins, that is, like Algorand was the first one, and I started stacking so much, I was like looking and I was like, I'm 90% Algorand. So I got to fix this a little bit. So I'm like definitely happy to have Algorand back, and it's definitely one of my favorite, that I'm looking
to buy right now. And you're getting it under, I mean, you said 70 something cents, but isn't it like under 50 or right at 50 right now?
Something like that. I feel like it could be in the 40s, and I'm like, I need some right now.
That is crazy. And you're staking it for 10%.
Yep. And unconfirmed, I believe I read this, but if I'm totally lying and I'm off, I mean, don't sue me. I'm just a guy on the internet. But I believe Universal Music Group, they're doing their NFTs through Algorand.
Yeah, that will be very interesting. I cannot wait to see how the music industry thinks they're going to attack the NFT market. I don't know, man. I really don't know. You guys are going to try to convince a market that's at its low right now to start buying music NFTs. That's tough, dude. That's really tough. You guys are going to have to be really creative, and I'm rooting for y'all because it has to do with my own personal life. You know that. So I want to see who makes the mistakes. What kind of mistakes do you make? And I can't wait to see what happens after that.
100%. And it's so crazy because Flow under $4. It was like when I made this, I was like, something in my gut is just telling me like Flow,
dude.
and just the partnerships and everything that they've been doing. I mean, price action, trying to figure it out. And
this is a 10 timer. This is a 10 timer. I'll say it out loud. I'll say it for the rest of the class. 10 times. We're going back to $40, friends. 4% staking. Go get a bag.
Yep. I'm excited to see what all these, like what the NFL is going to do with
Oof.
them, like all their partnerships after they get a year
NFL?
of experience. Yep.
Oh, come on. NFL, Dr. Seuss was coming out with their NFTs. I saw it on the internet. I kind of wanted to get into it. I think it will come to a point, dude, that I'm going to get tired of chasing this dragon of minting an NFT, and I'm probably just going to start buying NFTs, dude, because it's like I'd rather just own them. Like, I mean, it's digital, dude. People that get it, you get it. If you know, you know.
Shout out to Bit Cruising. Shout out to Ronto Mans.
Damn right, dude.
Those
squad.
are the homies.
Those are the homies. Hey, and you know what? My Fudverse, God, love you, dude. Love you.
We love you. So we got VeChain under 0.043. I was looking around, and just a little background. I know we only have one more to read, and so when I make this, these are like the levels that I'm looking at, and I'm like, okay, these are all on the same level. Whatever is best for my portfolio, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm like, so when they vary, it's not always just based off support and resistance. Resistance might be here, and I'm like, support in this case, if we're looking for the best buying opportunities. I'm not an idiot. I just, am sometimes an idiot. But support, we got support, and I'm like, some plays are obviously better than others at certain prices. So I was looking at these, and they're all ranked the same in my opinion, but whatever my portfolio needs and whatever I see, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to keep that, but we got Zcash under 125. So I thought like I said in the Discord, I was like, this is, very interesting. Down 3% while everything is torn up. And I was like, ooh, we like that.
We like
that.
that.
If there's a bullish sign while everything is red, that's probably it. Yours is less red than every other red.
I like the amount of red you got.
Yep.
That is so funny, dude. I think that Edward Snowden news had probably a nice little impact. People were
that was
just like,
super
I don't want
chill.
to sell this shit.
Yeah. I was like, if anybody knows privacy, it's probably that guy. He got kicked out of America. I'm not. We can't laugh at him. That's a legend,
dude. We're not laughing. You're just nailing the jokes right now. I don't know what to tell you.
That's
Stop
what I'm
being
doing.
Funny.
All right. So at these ranges, I was honestly going heavy Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. I was telling the group, I was like, I let go of like all the stable coins. So now I'm just back to dollar cost averaging. Got some funds and I'm ready for more, but we're trying to figure it out. And I made some, we've been saying DCA, and I feel like those stable coins came in handy. I'm much happier with how they're spent now than, what it could have been if I would have just put it in something. But, that's what you do.
No, yeah. I agree
So,
with you.
what I was saying is, because that was stupid, we're getting back to it. No, it's not. Maybe it wasn't stupid. I don't know. Maybe you're just inside my brain right now. Get out of my freaking head. It's a roller coaster in here, all right? But, all right. So, the last thing I wanted to say, which I said it already, so,
Go
I'm
ahead
not
and
saying
say
it.
it again.
Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's where I went. I went the safest place in the crypto sphere, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah,
Bitcoin,
I did.
Ethereum.
This week I had to do Zcash. I was like, when am I going to be able to say I owned a half of Zcash for $50 ever again? Or I could buy a whole Zcash for $100. I think that was just a really good opportunity. Link, I had to get some Link. I got Algorand, I got Bitcoin, and I believe that's all I did this week.
I don't know what I'm saying. Now that the listeners got out of my ear, I definitely scooped way more than Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I definitely picked up a good amount of Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah.
But I did get some Solana for a little NFT adventures. I got Chainlink. I think Chainlink was like that was one of my favorites. I smiled I smiled when I pressed buy on those.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Chainlink, and they're talking about being able to stake your Chainlink. that'll be a big deal, especially for all those Link Marines that have been waiting for something pretty solid to come out. So there is a lot of upside opportunity here, and what are we gonna do? Hold y'all's hand? Can't hold nobody's hand. We're rooting you on. We're cheering you on, dude. We believe in you. Go out there, go get it. This opportunity is here, y'all. So
we love that, and that's what we're doing. There's nothing else to say there. Just
Yeah.
keep it moving. Keep it
moving.
keep learning. Keep being a fly on the wall and learn lesson by lesson,
Yeah.
and don't quit until you come out with the dub.
That's right. 100%. So we already went into a few questions. Are there a couple more questions you want to go over real quick?
I feel like we're pretty much good. Everything else we got a lot of recording.
So I wanna say this real quick to close it out. Okay. I'm not even gonna read the quote. I want to say this. This week was very unique. Definitely, like I said earlier on in the podcast. And the part that hurt the most about this past week was Troy and I have worked our asses off to have you guys believe in something that that is bigger than all of us, truly. And it really did. I know it did. It bothered him, and it definitely bothered myself, knowing that we couldn't come in here and maybe hopefully just put a smile on your face when shit just got real. But like we said earlier, Bitcoin held pretty well. And if Bitcoin works, you can bet your ass there's going to be other projects that work. And people that are out here screaming that only, or that 95% of the projects are going to die, that's fine. We still got 5% of projects that will survive if that's the case. And I'll take those fucking odds. Because when one works, it's going to blow off the lid. And Bitcoin is a great example of that. So don't forget that these centralized banks want to push centralized banking digital coins down your throat so you are tracked everywhere you make a purchase, no matter what. And you are fighting for something different. And it doesn't matter if it's $6 or $6,000. It doesn't matter. Anybody can invest. This is a fair game. And just like Jack Mallers said, it is creating a equal playing field and a fair shot for anybody to chase financial freedom. So don't quit here. You keep going forward. You keep your middle fingers as far high in the fucking sky and keep acting like a degenerate, because these people do not want to see you win. They don't. And this is where you get back up and you keep going, or you're going to lay there and people are just going to walk all over you, and it is what it is. So
they don't want to see you win in tunnel vision. Shout out Kodak Black, Sniper Gang, biggest sniper.
But love y'all. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. Keep fucking going.
Love you.